Hello everybody, how's it going? I am back at the Home Depot parking lot. This is one of the most difficult areas to test with unprotected lefts. There really needs to be a traffic light here at this intersection. There have been a lot of accidents here, and it's fascinating to me to track the progress of Full Self-Driving Beta, particularly in these very difficult situations. Before I get started, I want to highlight two things. First of all, my setup. So previously I was rotating my GoPro camera and I was holding a microphone in my left hand. That really wasn't appropriate and it definitely was not safe. So I have made improvements and will not be going back to the old style. Second of all, I made some jokes about Full Self-Driving Beta using ChatGPT, the OpenAI project that Google I think purchased. I thought I'd do that just for fun and to lift up my channel a little bit and to keep it a little bit more light. However, in retrospect, it really is not appropriate or respectful to tell jokes about this technology when it's still in development and not fully released or proven to be reliable. There are a lot of very serious considerations and safety concerns related to self-driving technology, and it's important to treat this topic with the respect that it deserves. So I will refrain from telling any further jokes related to this technology moving forward. So without further delay, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, we are ready to take off. The icon to turn on self-driving is not showing up, so I'm going to have to move forward just a little bit for it to display. It looks like it's routing without any traffic data at the moment. Not sure why there's no connectivity. And there we go. The steering wheel icon just showed up. You can see in the top left there. So I can double tap down and the car will begin to move toward its destination. I need to wait for the route to change because we need to come out of this parking lot up here instead of going down. So let me move it first before I turn it on to get the route to go in the direction that I want it to go. It looks like there's a ton of traffic. There we go. It just changed. Looks like there is a ton of traffic right now. So this is going to be fascinating to see. So it's 5:30. It's approximately rush hour. We have somebody coming up behind us. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Okay, there we go. Full Self-Driving Beta is enabled. I do have one hand on the steering wheel. Unfortunately, it's dark outside. It gets dark way too early. Car behind me is going around on the right. My car is hesitating quite a bit. There is a Model 3 right in front of us. Okay, so I'm looking left and right. You may not be able to see with the cameras. And this car in front of me is turning left. My car almost went out and hit him, so I did have to disengage there. There was a car behind me that lost patience and went flying ahead there. So unfortunately, we had to disengage there. So that's not the ideal situation, obviously, and very disappointing for me. I've done that test multiple times and have not had any issues. That was surprising that it was almost like going into that car. So I'm going to have to review that footage and kind of zoom in a little bit. But yeah, not ideal for sure on that one. So that's one disengagement, one failure, if you will. Okay, here we go for test number 2. Definitely have a lot more traffic than I did over the weekend. Left turn signal turns on. Coming up here, thankfully staying to the left this time. That's an improvement compared to previous. Okay, it is wide open. We are lucky this time. Okay, now there's a car coming on the right. It's taking pause. Doing a good job with that. Ooh, now we have some cars coming on the left. This is going to be challenging, so I hope it knows when to go at the right time. Okay, it's waiting. Okay, perfect. They passed, and it's clear on the right. Got lucky on the right. And coming out. So that's a success. So that's 1 for 2. And here we go again. Beta is enabled. Left turn signal goes on. Slowing down. It's hit or miss. Sometimes it slows down there, other times it doesn't. Not sure what causes it to slow down. And it looks like it's coming in the middle of the lane this time. Hopefully nobody comes behind us. Okay, it's trying to go around this car. That's not really appropriate. So that the car in front of me is going left. This is not the correct thing to be doing. So in the first try, the car behind me did this. You know, they tried to go around me, but my car is deliberately getting in the right turn lane and then trying to turn left at the same time this other car is going left. And now it should be creeping out. It's clear on the left and clear on the right. So traffic cleared up. We got extremely lucky there, but I'm not a fan of the selection there, the lane selection, and how it decided to go around that car. So I did hit the report button because there really is some room for improvement there. It should have recognized they had their turn signal on and gotten behind them, because that was really the lane we should have been turning left out of. Test number 4. Let's see if it hesitates here this time. No, nice and smooth. A little bit of hesitation, but not bad. And it's staying on the far left side this time. Okay, so we've got 2 cars in front of us. It is clear on the left. We've got a car coming on the right. And going for it. Okay, so that's 3 for 4. So even though we had 3 successes there, one of those was inappropriate. It tried to go around that car. But I'm still going to call that a success because there was no intervention and there was no disengagement. Beta is enabled. Left turn signal goes on. We do have somebody right behind us. Hopefully it stays to the left. Okay, good, it did. And the car behind us is going over to the right. It's creeping out. And we do have 1 car on the right, clear on the left, and coming out, hesitating a little bit there, and then accelerating. Great. Okay, that's 4 for 5. We'll do 2 more tests and we'll close this out. Okay, coming up to the stop sign and waiting for the left turn signal. Right there, turns on. Sometimes it will turn on and then, oh, there, and it turned off. So sometimes it will turn on and then off, then back on again. Not sure why or when it does that. Doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. So coming up behind this car, thankfully not trying to go around it this time. Nobody behind us. It's a lot more traffic this time around, at least in the moment it is right now. The past 2 or 3 times we got a little bit lucky because the path cleared up. It is about 5:45 p.m. right now, and traffic seems to have gotten a little bit better than it was when we first started. It is clear. We are just getting absolutely lucky here. Now let's see if this car, okay, they're waiting for us. Good. Coming out, accelerating really quickly there. So it's different when you're actually driving because it really accelerated pretty quickly there coming out of that turn. And that was an improvement after 10.12.2 that I noticed. Maybe it was with 10.12.2. I'm trying to remember. I think it was with 10.12.2 where it started accelerating out of those turns a lot more assertively. So that has improved. I do like that. It gives it a little bit more prowess, if you will. It feels more confident. You know, you're not as concerned when it does stuff like that. And it's nice because that's the way a human would drive, I feel, coming out of a turn. Like, you got to speed up because the speed limit is there. You know, you don't want to be gradually speeding up, especially if someone's right behind you. Okay, last time around here. Okay, so you get to see the full route here. So I'm waiting for the route to change. So this is what I've been doing here in the background every time I come around. Waiting for it. Usually changes right about now. There it is. Okay, put it in full screen. We do have somebody right behind us. Okay, they're turning left. Beta is enabled. And coming forward, 15 miles per hour. I don't know how it determines that speed limit in this parking lot area. And thankfully, oh, it went to the left there briefly and then went into the middle, kind of in the middle. Okay, this is good. So you can't see probably, but there's quite a bit of traffic on the left. I like it when we have a lot more cars involved. There's autopilot creeping forward, checking for visibility. Thankfully, nobody behind us. Now the left is clear, so this would be the time to start creeping forward. We've got a car coming on the right, now a car coming on the left. Thankfully, it recognized that car coming on the left. It slowed down, stopped here before coming all the way out. That's really intelligent. I love the way it did that. Now it's clear on both sides, and the car goes for it. Love it. That is fantastic. Once again, 6 for 7. That is really great to see. So I am getting repeated results here with 85% accuracy. The car is making very intelligent decisions and making the right moves. I'm absolutely loving what I see. It's unbelievable how well it handles that intersection. And like I said, it's a very challenging place to test this. So what I'm going to do is turn it on, and we're going to have it take me all the way back into a residential area, and from there we'll disable it and call it a day. Let's see how well it does. Usually don't have too many issues here. We may get to experience the buffer issue with the screen where the software visualization just disappears. It's temporary, but all the cars will kind of freeze on the screen and then they'll come back again. And it doesn't seem to matter whether there's a lot of data that it's processing or little data. There we go. See, everything froze and now it disappears. And there we go. All the lines, everything, colors disappeared. Now it's slowly starting to come back. We don't have the lines coming back. So that is repeatedly an issue, and I have not been able to resolve that. I've tried cycling power on the car to try to get that to improve, and that doesn't help. So still an issue there, and I think it might be because I don't have the Ryzen chip or the Ryzen graphics card inside of my hardware 3. So when I got my car in 2019, it was March 2019 when I got this rear-wheel drive long-range Model 3. It came with the older computer, which did not support full self-driving. So when I purchased the full self-driving add-on for $5,000 extra, actually since it was after I purchased the car, it was $6,000 at that time. And by the way, when I purchased the car back then, autopilot was an extra purchase. That autopilot in and of itself was an add-on package, and that was $3,000. I think they kind of baked that into the base price of the cars because now you can't buy that as an option. It comes as standard with all the cars. But back then, if you wanted to get full self-driving and autopilot, it was a total of $8,000, and I just couldn't foot that bill. So I instead bought the autopilot only for $3,000. And then later I added the full self-driving, and because I added it later, it was an extra $1,000. So it ended up being $6,000. So all said and done, I paid $9,000. Well, now it's $15,000, and that's on top of autopilot that's already built in. So maybe realistically, it's probably $18,000. Anyway, it's way too expensive, in my opinion, for what you get. I mean, not that you want, not that you should expect. Well, I mean, I guess with the name of the software, full self-driving, you would kind of expect that it would drive itself, but it is in beta, and when you're purchasing something and spending that much money, you would want it to work well, and it does work decent, but it doesn't work well. In other words, you can't rely on it. It's not. There's a lot of kinks and bugs. Like, just as an example, that first time when I was turning left there, it could have hit that car if I didn't disengage. And there are a lot of situations like that in the city where, okay, turning left here, nice job. That was really well done. I'm very pleased with that. So I'm talking while the car is driving itself. And I'm not really expecting too many issues. That's why I'm kind of casually talking and conversing with everybody here. Hear my screen? Okay, I thought it was freezing again. But in the city, especially in very busy areas, the software creates mixed signals. And I've said this many, many times, and I know a lot of the other testers are also commenting on this. That's one of the most, how should I say, uncomfortable parts of the beta software right now, and why I don't believe it's worth that price tag. It just really is not appropriate in a lot of cases. And the other thing is, and it's amazing that Tesla's been able to get away with this as much as they have. You got to bear in mind, nobody around you has signed up to be part of the beta program. Nobody around you, if you were to poll everybody and ask them, are you okay with the car and an experimental technology creating confusion and chaos around everybody else, driving autonomously or semi-autonomously? And I think you get some interesting results. I think a lot of people would say, I'm okay with that. Yes, we want robo-taxis and we want autonomous vehicles. But a good portion of people, I think, would say, no, I'm not okay with that. I don't want to have this creating confusion and potentially causing accidents. Now, the reality of the matter is, this technology has been created to prevent accidents. And I think that message doesn't make it into the news very often. And there are a number of situations where the software's done stuff that's blown my mind and helped me out tremendously. So from that aspect, it's nice, but again, it's unproven. It makes mistakes, and when you put that much money on the line, you don't really want that to happen. Now, if you're a geek and love testing things out, okay, here we are turning left, car behind us, really smooth, nice, really smooth. But when you're paying that much money, you kind of expect it to work, right? And that's the thing, it's relative. So, and I've said this before in my previous videos as well. How much is it worth to you financially? Because for some people, $15,000 is like a month's worth of work. But for other people, that's like 6 to 12 months or more of work. Okay, so it's slowing down. I'm increasing the speed a little bit because somebody is tailgating us at the moment. Okay, coming up here. This is the final challenge, is turning left here. Bummer, the car behind me is also turning left. A lot of times it will hesitate here. Let's see what it does. So this car in front of us is turning right. It's a debate whether we should go first or they should go first, but it better be decisive. Okay, it's hesitating. Okay, good, it's going. Oh no, slowing down in the middle. Okay, now going forward. So almost made that situation awkward once again. It started to go and then paused and then went again. So thankfully it did carry through with that. But yeah, overall, it's not worth it, in my opinion, for the price tag that it is. However, I'm always talking about how great it is because it is impressive. And if you're a geek and you love testing stuff out like this and you make a ton of money, then it's probably worth it. So in summary, I think it did pretty good. I'm thoroughly impressed with the progress on unprotected lefts. Thanks a lot so much, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.